Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. BTC dumping. Crypto dumping. Everything's poop. Is it all over? Many people believe it's all over, friends. I've got a cracker episode for you today. The Bitcoin weekly SuperTrend is now red. There's about 48 hours to close the candle. BTC, $95,000. Got a cracker episode for you today. We're going to be speaking about Michael Saylor addressing rumors he didn't sell. Tether CEO, stablecoin supercycle, crypto adoption. Even the SEC fast-tracking ETFs. Alibaba stablecoin, Bank of England. Not of Sky, England. All of that coming your way and more, friends. But of course, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, BTC is kerplonked. Okay, it is kerplonked, $95,000. It's rolled over. The weekly SuperTrend is now, unfortunately, red, which is it right now. Here it is. Okay, but I want to remind you, I don't know, this is, you know, what does this count for? Nothing. But, like, it hasn't finished the week yet. You know what I mean? There's still 2 days left, 48 hours, roughly. And it did come close before, and it actually did break it before. And it actually flipped red. Okay, so it has done this. And if you're curious, back in 2017, friends, it did also have these periods where, yes, it did come down to the wire. This is 2017 cycle. See? And then it flips it. Here, flips red, unflips it. Flips red, unflips it. Flips red, unflips it. Back to green. Here, it actually flipped red, and then, you know what I mean? So it did get these moments. There was this final moment at the very end of the cycle, January 2018, when it was over. However, in this period, this was old season wave 2 had already happened. So Bitcoin dominance had already had the explosion on the way down, which means altcoins were going up. So if you want to know as well, if you zoom in, and I don't like doing this because, you know, when you got to do this, like, you just don't like it. But it's about 90. If Bitcoin can go back to 96,400 in the next 48 hours, that would pretty much save it. You know, but if you also want to know, but Tommy, what's so important about that line? It's technically important because it's 3 times the ATR by default. That's 3 times the average weekly range. It's smashed down. Okay, so that confirms a trend. Now, if you want to go on the past, when a trend confirms, like there is only just one fake out. This was literally, friends, at May 2021. This was the surprise collapse from President Xi, China banning Bitcoin, that massive FUD, right? And it, you know, this is interesting. There was like a we're running on fumes rally by the end of it, but you had already had old season wave 1. You didn't want to rely on this. And then Bitcoin actually went on to peak 175 days later. Okay, so if we want to go for the worst of the worst, what would 175 days from us put us? April next year. Okay. April, it'll be putting us at April next year. That's what it would be. Okay. Don't have anything else to really go off, friends, because, like, if I show you as well, there is a period here. Yes, we did flip red on the weekly SuperTrend. We did. There's a parabolic move up. We flipped red, but this was like such a fast move up as well, you know. And then we flipped red. It's kind of funny. The US Fed started cutting rates here. Okay, we flipped red, and then guess what? They actually did QT. They stopped QT right here. If we actually check it, around August, September. There you go. It's kind of fun. That's actually funny. Let me look at it. So we flip red on the weekly SuperTrend, and then their QT ends, which here it is around August, September 2019, around the same period. This is the President Xi pump, which is just rejected. Okay, but then we have zombie virus. Okay, so if zombie virus never happened, you might think Bitcoin would have just hovered around here and it would have done a rounded off bottom. But this was super extreme zombie virus. Of course, everybody's worried about another zombie virus. All we should do is play some angel music for all of us here. And I just want to assure you, yes, the candle, friends, is actually pre-lit today. You need it. Yeah, I couldn't even wait. I had to just light the candle straight away. So I'm praying for all of us. And that was actually a mid-cycle stuff. But yes, when the weekly SuperTrend every single time flipped red, it was over. Except this part. There is this part here. But this was, you got to understand as well, like, this was a parabolic move up. So Bitcoin runs up. It flips on the weekly SuperTrend. It runs up 38x. and then it has this volatile close down, and then but literally it just straight away reverses. It has a candle the next week, it just reverses the whole candle. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, friends. Everything else, whenever it's flipped red, it's done that. Now, but here's another thing as well. Okay, we're going off price action of the past without institutions. Yes, if you try use that weekly super trend on the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, you don't get any clean read at all because there's constant fake outs. What I actually do is I'll show it to you now just so you have a quick look at what we can see, friends. So this is the Nasdaq right here. This is the daily chart of the Nasdaq. Even if you put it on the weekly, it's kind of funny. So Nasdaq gapped down and then actually finished up here. So this is the weekly chart of the Nasdaq. I'll just show you now. If you put the super trend, okay, super trend right here. Look at all these moments. See how it has, look, it fakes out and then it just goes up. And then look, it goes red again. This was March this year. Trump tariff tantrums. See this? Red. But look, it just reverses back up. So if you're selling here and here, guess what? It just goes reverses. And this is actually very common. Here was actually, this is the last time we flipped red. Before that, look at this. This was actually the start of the 2022 bear market. Okay, so that happened. But if you go before that, look, there's all these fake outs, man. Feb 2020, this was actually, yes, this was, we flipped red, and then we had zombie virus. We come up. And then here as well, flips red, and then that appears. And here's actually, just flips red down and it goes up. So it's actually screwing around, okay? So as you can look at all these fake outs. Red, and then, see what I mean? Like, when you flip red, friends, remember, you can't sell at the top of the candle. It only confirms at the bottom. It confirms after the end candle's closed. So here, for example, you don't sell up here. You're selling actually down here. And then it goes sideways and actually goes up. Same thing as here. Look, it flips red here. You get short, but then it goes up. See, I've just gone through all these examples where, see, that's how, because it's not so easy, right? You're like, oh, I'll just trade a super trend. You can't in the big traditional markets because if it was that easy, Paul Tudor Jones and every other big fund manager, they would be deploying billions of dollars and they would just be using all their money, all their chances to try and make 20 or 30% return, which we know doesn't happen. Now we're going to have a quick zoom up to the price action of Bitcoin, friends. This is what we're looking at right now. It's, yeah, clobbered through these monthly levels, couldn't hold, everything down, 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 wrecked. Okay, but there's something strange going on. I'll tell you right now. Something quite strange, okay, which hasn't happened before. So it is interesting price action. So Bitcoin is down here. I guess to save the weekly super trend, it'll be 96,400. Look how close it is. We'll see, whatever. But the strange part is Bitcoin dominance is going down. Altcoins are strong as Bitcoin's going down. Okay. That is the strange thing. Let me just show you. Look at the monthly candle now for Bitcoin dominance. Friends, it was green, now it's red. It's rejecting under this 10-period moving average. You see that? Okay. I've even watched just Ben Copen. He just said Bitcoin dominance is going to shoot up. He believes it's going to like 70, 80%, way, way, way higher, and altcoins are going to get destroyed again. It's all over as well. But yeah, he's always going to be long, because he's been long the whole time. But I found that very interesting, and I've got more to show you too now as well. So this is another strange thing happening. OTHERS-btc, which of course you can infer all of these because Bitcoin dominance is going down. Friends, the monthly green candle is getting greener. Very interesting, right? But, of course, nobody's going to touch altcoins now. No way. So you can see it's only strong hands. No weak hands going to touch altcoins. Because the argument they would say is, hey, we just capitulated so hard last month with the Chinese exchange cabal that, this is some sort of like little recovery. But it's showing you, man, that it's exhausted from selling. And interesting, QT is ending, and the last time QT ended here, look at this, we had a green monthly candle for OTHERS-btc. But we could be just clutching onto straws, because everybody else using their own little cute fractals, saying that everything's going to zero. They're obviously just, going to keep pushing home the narrative that it literally is all turbo over. Like, for example, here's Sol ETH, everything like rolling over, not looking healthy at all. ETH-BTC is interesting. It's still at 0.033, friends. It's finding a floor, man. Finding a floor. It is interesting, isn't it? Man, that'll be wild, friends. Wouldn't, friends, it's gonna, you know how wild that'll be if ETH-BTC closes above 0.043. It's now, man, that's really gonna throw a spanner in the works, because that means ETH-BTC is green on the monthly super trend, and we're meant to be in a deep bear market. That'll be crazy. Okay. More things that don't make sense to me, friends. The total crypto industry is around 3 trillion, which is a freaking massive joke. It's still around 3 trillion. Okay. It's interesting when you look at it. That's what everyone's saying, is we're now heading to a bear market. It's kind of funny, by the way, when you look at it like this. You just say, oh, everyone's now saying, hey, we're going into a bear market. So I just wanted to give you that perspective to have a look at that. What we're now going to do, let's look at blockchain backers Fractals as well. What he believes is happening out here. So we have, this is left is Ondo. And we have Ethereum Classic here. And then we have Polkadot. This is all similar to even Bitcoin's chart. There's some sort of weird double top. This is like Bitcoin being 125K that we just saw. And then he thinks we're all like around here. We've just capitulated lower. We're going to go sideways before Bitcoin goes down even lower to like $70,000. Which will then, you know, obviously everyone's like just in turmoil. I'll show you the full chart here. This is the Bitcoin chart. You can see it here. So we're back down to this level, stopping around here. So he thinks if there's anything, one thing left, he's getting everything out here, by the way. You see Bitcoin? So this is literally, friends, even though it says it's over, the last retrace, he would get it around here. If you want to know, it's about Bitcoin 110 or 114. Okay? This would be the Bitcoin 68% retrace. By the way, if you go back here, this is about 60% retrace. He would be getting everything out here. And that, I guess, would mimic what happened last time. And I guess he's expecting, like, them, you never know, it might have some tiny little alt season thing, whatever it is. Is it going to be like a week, a day? I don't know. I remember we banned the word alt reason. I said it there. We're going to have to delete that, friends. It's not, there is no, we've banned it. Okay. It's alts, but it rhymes with alt reason. Okay. No more. We have to keep remembering. We've banned the word. We're trying to ushering a signal of sorts. This is ZeCash, friends. He's actually sold all his ZeCash. ZeCash is at like these huge, giant fib levels. Be careful with ZeCash as well, friends. You have big exchange owners and Kobe all shilling it, and it's gone up 15x. Okay, so I want to show you, like, they are no, friends, they are no different to any other altcoin that's just gone up, right? And so even though it has gone up, you can't be fooled, friends. Don't think like, oh, there's this one coin running, therefore it's going to keep running up. No, this is typically what happens, right? At the end, there's some sort of big popcorn explosion, but it's kind of sad, man. It only happened with one coin because the PMI is low. What do you do, right? So this is pretty much what he's waiting for. ZeCash on the left. He's actually sold most of his position, but if it makes that lower high euphoria thing, he's going to be getting out the rest. So I'm just letting you know about that. If because I've heard a lot of some people like, guys, if you're buying this stuff, it's not going to keep going up, man. Like it's literally, I know it's strong now, but that's day-to-day stuff. Okay, it means nothing. Like you can have a look here, right, as well. Actually, I've got the monthly chart here, friends. This is the US Nasdaq. Red for the month, of course, because they did so many green in a row. All right, okay, so here's the red month in a row. Let's actually have a look at ZeCash. So yeah, that is ZeCash. What's it down from the top? 22%. So you can just see, I'll just put on the daily as well. Yeah, Venzi, this is not, I know, like, this is it, man. This is like, if you're long, right, this is the first big bull flag. This is, you're getting out here. Okay, you're literally getting out here. And by the way, like, it's rescued you, dude. It broke the 2021 high by a 2x. That's like Hex going to 90 cents, $1. You know what I mean? And it's hanging around there. So these people don't believe it. And by the way, as well, friends, like, I don't, like, you know, also for ZeCash, what makes it like super easy that, you know, it's easy to take profit into. It's sponsored by Israel, and no criminals actually use ZeCash. It's not actually great tech. They don't actually use it. And the exchanges kind of allow it, but they ban Monero and they ban a lot of other things. So you see what the criminals use. The criminals use stuff that you can't get caught with, right? Yeah, obviously the Coconut Intelligence Agency, I think they can actually backtrace stuff with ZeCash as well, right? But you didn't even need to hear this. You can kind of see it's like if you're outside the bubble, you can see, oh yeah, easy, just take profit. But everybody in it holding, there's this different vibe. It's like, no, I'm part of the team. Crypto Kobe says Zodl, he keeps shilling it. The Winklevoss of the Gemini exchange, they're now shilling it. Everybody's like shilling it, right? So it gets harder and harder because they think, oh man, these guys back it, they back it. So, but yeah, bro, it's already up like 20x, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got your 2,000% return. But of course, nobody's talking like that. Why? Because they weren't long. They didn't believe in it when it was low. Okay. So yes, friends, we have Bitcoin currently red on the weekly super trend. It has translated mostly to bear market conditions going on here. It is a believer's cycle. What do you do? You know, Bitcoin getting clobbered, 94,000-ish. We'll see. See what happens. Michael Saylor has said there is no truth to rumors of MicroStrategy selling Bitcoin. So what happened was they moved 30,000 Bitcoin and everyone automatically, you know, the FUD comes out. They go, oh, Michael Saylor's selling. You know, he's selling immediately, but he's not. They've set it up in a way so he's got majority of the shares and they have to vote and take a long time and put pressure if they want to do anything with it. But they've signed 50,000 things saying I'm never selling as well. Here is the MNAV for MicroStrategy. It's at 0.95 once again. So it's below 1. That's why it's calling everybody into question as to what's going on. I know it looks dire. It looks bad now, friends, but really, like, it is strange. The Bitcoin dominance, man, is going down. So what does it actually mean, man? It means basically, yes, Bitcoin was just way too high before. It was just way too high. So just to even know, friends, if you're kind of new to crypto, just to understand, right? So traditionally, this is how, because everyone thinks they have like a formula that always works. And I'm telling you, man, like you come from TradFi markets, which I started in, dude, things will blow your mind all the time. Something doesn't always have to happen, okay? Just to let you know. So traditionally, of course, altcoins are seen as risk on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's US dollar price goes down, they always assume that, so if Bitcoin drops 1%, everything else is dropping 3%. Yeah? If Bitcoin drops 5%, they're dropping 15%. That's what everyone says. Everything keeps happening, right? But what's unfortunate for Bitcoin, but I guess good for us, what's happening now is Bitcoin's dropping, but altcoins are barely following. So here is Bitcoin clobbering through the lows here. Okay, and let's actually have a look at Ethereum. Let's go look at Ethereum. Sweet Ethereum right here. See, friends, Ethereum hasn't broken its low. You see this? It has not broken its low. Look at it. It's still hanging around here. What's going on? Well, so I'm showing you, like, you know, markets, they front run stuff that you can't see right now. There's panic now, but think about, okay, QT's ending. The tightening is stopping. I know, because if you pluck an individual person out, friends, the thing is, they're not going to come and tell you, oh, I am long Ethereum, definitely, because QT ending is everything's great, don't worry about Bitcoin. They won't all necessarily say that, but the wisdom of the crowd will. That's why you look at the price action and ratios first. You don't ask people what they're thinking. You look at their actions say, okay? And what their actions are saying is they actually think things are going to get better. That's why they're in Ethereum. There's a lot of and by the way, so a lot of crypto creators, well, just my observation, just to tell you, none of them have Ethereum. None of them have Ethereum. Remember, they only had Bitcoin and they only had Sol. Okay, and now they don't even have Sol because the 4-year cycle's here to them, and we're going in a bear market according to them. So they've only got Bitcoin primarily. So you can see they're actively getting rid of stuff that they don't have Ethereum, which is interesting. See, they don't have it anymore. So there's only strong-hand believers left. Tether CEO Paulo says it's Bitcoin Black Friday, and we did get Bitcoin Black Friday. He's implying it's like a discount sell-off. Okay, it's not like a black year. He's saying it's a sell-off. But what does it really count for anyway? You know, we're just hoping and coping. Eric Trump says, stay out of crypto if you can't handle the volatility. So Eric Trump's made a post on Twitter, and actually a lot of people are like really angry and stuff about the Trump family.
If you can't handle volatility, stay out of cryptocurrency and don't bother. But, go into treasuries where you're going to have zero volatility and you're going to click away at, 3% returns. Go have a great...
Yeah, so... he's copping a lot of heat on so the comments from the crowd, but it's reflecting the red monthly candles, because there's been a lot of pain and agony still. A lot of the people are saying read the room. They're saying Trump family was the worst thing to happen to crypto. It was better without you. They're saying all these extremely negative things. Even though they're doing all the positive news, right? The CFTC, the SEC, doing all this stuff, getting rid of Gary Gensler. Like we say, friends, the news doesn't matter, man. The price action matters, okay? That's it. Price moves first, narrative follows later. More news here as well, friends. Prediction markets. Polymarket predicts a 62% chance that Bitcoin will break below 90K by the end of the year. Here are the odds. It's just what market expectations are. Doesn't mean it's always right, always wrong. It's just, it is what it is, right? So they have 62% chance that Bitcoin is below 90K. $1.4 million of volume here. Oh man, that's kind of funny. Only a 20% chance that it goes above 120K. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, based off everything out here, but it is what it is. What can we do, man? What can we do? Let's go through its friends as well. Okay, if there is a bear market, what does that mean? Another 4 years of getting destroyed? Is that what happens? Because we're in unprecedented times, right? Because just to tell you, okay, friends, in a bear market in crypto, your enemy isn't this like random calendar of time. Okay, your enemy's non-believers. That's why I'm just telling you conceptually. Your enemy's non-believers. So we'll just call them a non-believer. They buy tops, they buy super aggressive, and they come only after crypto is cool. And they hear a lot of people are making money. Okay? Where in altcoins, there's been none of that for 4 years. More than 4 years, actually. 22, 23, 24, now all of 25. It was actually half of 2021. But let's just say all of 2021 was a bull market year, even though they got scammed there. It's been 4 years, man, of literally no one has entered, oh, everyone's making rich. No one. There have been pockets. There's always pockets. There's always a cherry-picked coin, like, oh, one coin, a Hyperliquid, or XRP did a move and then it retraced it, whatever. But we don't have them with us, you know. Now, does it mean market necessarily has to go up? No. But you're trying to play the game of probabilities here. If things get slightly better, like, it's still strong hands, okay? You know what I mean? Like, no one's trapped. I mean, like, let's use Hex as an example. The Hex 40-cent buyers, yeah, the last time they entered was 2021. Do you know what I mean? That's 4 years ago, man. Yeah. There are no, like, a lot of, same with all these other coins. You don't have these, there's no retail who's come in. There's no Coinbase App Store ranking. Coinbase App Store ranking is 200 right now, by the way. Or exactly 198. So, you know what I mean? Like, your enemy would be Coinbase App Store rankings #1, because then you're like, oh crap, people are buying and they don't even log into crypto. They're literally downloading the app just to buy. You see what I mean? If that's around, that's concerning. You think, oh my gosh, do I want to be in the trenches riding the bear market with those people? No. On average, I don't. Because they will sell unbelievable lows and they'll FUD the crap out of it at the bottom. Okay? But they never came in. Right? They never came in. Maybe some of you were that person, but that was 4 years ago, man. That's a long time. You know, this unprecedented. We've never done this before. We've never been here before. You know, everyone says, "Oh, they come and buy the top at some point." Yeah, friends. You know, in 2017, people came and bought the top, and they go, "Oh, 2018 was a terrible bear market." Yeah, but you made all your money back just 3 years later. By 2021 March, you'd made your money back. 2021 March to April. So you go from 2018, you move to 2019, that's a year. 2020, that's a year. And then 2021, that's 3 years. You made all your money back in 3 years. All of us here, we're still down after 4 years. So pretty much, if you equate the exact 4 year cycle, these people made all their money back 12 months ago. You know? Very unfortunate, but what can we do? The Bank of England's new stablecoin proposal is out. Bank of England softened some earlier ideas, but the industry says it's still too restrictive. So it is interesting, right? So yeah, friends, once again, we are seeing more crypto adoption, stablecoin stuff, all these news. And of course, price action matters more, you know, but it's just, this is why it makes no sense, man, because like you have all the infrastructure, news-based stuff, and then retail didn't follow. Okay, it's just, they're just building. It's like retail still in disbelief, you know, but you know, that has happened before in history. Okay. Why is it happening? Well, we know. Okay, basically, in a nutshell, the volatility of the zombie virus, okay, and then the US Fed hiking rates and keeping rates too high for too long, that's basically killed everyone. It's killed their sentiment, everyone's confidence to come and step back in. That's why you can see it in the PMI, right? That's why I always report on it. I always show it to you as well. You can see it here, friends. You can see it. The PMI chart, 36 months down, right? There's also US jobs data that they're not releasing. They're only going to release half of it. Maybe it's going to show the economy's weak, or they're only going to show good data. I don't know, okay? But yeah, that's why everyone, no one knows. Everyone always asks, hey man, what's going to actually make people get confident again? Well, normally it's just time. Normally it's just, you know, interest rates are a bit okay. People have enough savings and it is what it is. But we're overdue. That's the thing. We are overdue. Okay, there's been like this big disconnect. That's why a lot of people are scared that the big bubble's going to pop, because they're saying, well, you know, middle class is cooked, and then you have like these top runners in AI and stuff out here, right? So we'll see, whatever. Alibaba's, actually, look, check this out, friends. So per Bloomberg's Eric Balchunas, the SEC just issued guidance allowing issuers to speed up filing effectiveness to clear the backlog. This could fast-track pending crypto ETFs. So we have a lot of crypto ETFs coming, and then maybe it builds up to some sort of Nasdaq index. That's one of my exotic top signals as well, where they actually announce, okay, we're going to do a crypto index. You know, the 60% of it's going to be Bitcoin, and then there's going to be, you know, 15% Ethereum, and then 20 of these altcoins are in, and the ETF is going to like basically buy or sell the biggest winner or loser like every week or something. It's going to like do the flows or something out here, you know, and that might be it. I hope we do get something like that. I hope. But right now, I mean, everyone's saying we're going to a bear market, so we'll see. Alibaba's cross-border arm is rolling out AI subscriptions and exploring tokenized USD and Euro payments with JP Mosquito out here. So once again, friends, stablecoin super cycle every single day. Stablecoin super cycle. This is the Pulse Chain core coins list, as you can see up here as well. Whenever we see stablecoin super cycle, friends, I always think of pDAI, of course. It's just that pDAI has been completely correlated with everything else and has been absolutely dumped like everything else. This is like just a log chart of cope out here, man. This is wild, man. How many red friends? Can you check this out? 1, 2, 3. Actually, we do this here. Okay, that's wild, man. There's been 12 weeks and only one was green. 11 out of 12 weeks were red. Jeez, man. 11 or 12. Gosh, what the hell? Well, what can we do, man? Can't do anything. I'm just going to hope that this is the 1, 2, 3. Wow, the 4th monthly candle red. What's going to happen? Is September going to be okay? We're going to roll up? Man, I really do hope. See, but this is the weird part, man. It's just like the Bitcoin chart says you're cooked. The altcoins chart saying everything's about to go good. Right? So Bitcoin looks good. Bitcoin's the one that went up. As like, Bitcoin one looks cooked. Stable-ish, too stable for crypto, right? And the altcoins just look like, hey man, we're getting like one believer at a time. We're getting one believer at a time. I know, by the way, if you look at the log chart, yeah, it's down 95%, by the way. This is down, it's down 95%. It is here. But like, this is the thing, friends, as well. If you look at this one, check this out, okay? If you check from, let's say from January of this year, okay, there's been 10 months. Yeah, 9 have been red. And, 10 months. Okay, so yes, 3 have been green and 7 have been red. Like, that's the end of altcoin bear markets. Yeah, like Ethereum, it's bear markets. It did 8 red monthly candles, which is done right now. Like, that's go all in. It's like it's done all the 8 red candles. Like, we've just, we'll see how it all plays out, I guess. By the way, as well, there is a Bitcoin CME gap at 91,975. So is this where we're going to go and cook everything? Everything's still massively cooked. Is that where we're going? We'll see. Also, some strange stuff too, friends. I wanted to put Ethereum on the weekly super trend. Ethereum is still holding on its weekly super trend. Right here. It's still holding. What does it mean? I mean, like, you know, Bitcoin always leads, but that's why I'm saying, man, like, when you have all these stablecoin, super cycle, Ethereum stuff, you know, just everyone's using stuff from the past to try go into the future, right? So that's why there'll be some sort of breaking of that. We've already seen a couple of breaks, right? Bitcoin broke the all-time high before 2024. It did the pre-ejaculation, right? You know, so look, conceptually, if you sit me down and go, hey, if you would explain what do you think really has happened? And I think, well, maybe the Bitcoin ETF, it front run Bitcoin, and Bitcoin had, you know, the family friendly orgasm, the explosion too early. And so it, like, instead of, like, you know, basically bottling itself up, it basically rescued everybody too fast. It let you out at the all-time high higher in Q1 of 2024 when it was meant to do it like 6 to 9 months later. And maybe now we're suffering for it. Okay, could be it. You know, that could be it. Maybe now we're suffering for it. Maybe a year ago, friends, maybe we weren't meant to be Bitcoin 95K. Maybe we were meant to be like 65. Yeah. Actually, if you go back to the 40 cycles, we're probably meant to be about that. So now we've gone from 65, now we're at 90. It's meant to be 50% higher. But actually, we're just, you know, it basically, I think Bitcoin just went too early. I can show you now. This is it right here in 2024. So it was this move here. It was the Bitcoin spot ETF. You see that? It went too early. Maybe it just had an early run for whatever reason, right? But altcoins have like never gone. So what happens now? I don't know, friends. Maybe we just do get to see this absolute left curve, simple rotation thing where like it's a Bitcoin only run and then an altcoin only run, and it's literally all done. You know, we'll wait. Bitcoin long-term holders sold 815,000 BTC over the past 30 days. They're all selling. You probably hear like, oh, Bitcoin's IPO bubble moment. IPO moment is just whatever. It's just another story. There's always another reason for things to go down. I want to tell you something as well, though, friends. We have now the TGA, the US Treasury account. The government's now open. Okay, so they're now starting to spend. So apparently it takes about a week. Okay, it takes somewhere like, 7 to 12 days to really seep in for the liquidity and everything. And they nickname it QE-Lite. Because basically what the government is, by this TGA, this Treasury General account, I think like it gets drained and it goes to bank cash reserves so that they don't need QE. So what they're actually doing, friends, is because QE is so big as an announcement, what they've done is they've made all these little poopy names like Treasury General account processes. So they have like these little different levels of QE because they probably don't want to go from 0 to QE. Okay, they probably want to be able to like crank it up, So it's just printing money. They're all doing the same thing. Okay, it's literally just all printing currency. So you and I want to know, right? Where to from here? On one hand, friends, Bitcoin, we're at red weekly super trend. It calls for bear market, man. It calls for terrible price action after that point. I'll actually show you as well. Last time I flipped red as well. Look how much all it could retrace. Let's actually check out. When it flipped red, all it could retrace was back to the 50% point. And then this is where funny, Do Kwon bought 40,000 Bitcoin here, and then Luna collapsed and everything died. Okay. If let's say Bitcoin's somewhere near the bottom, if let's say we are in a bear market and it repeats, where will the 50% retrace be here? It's 109. Okay. It's exactly 109, which is funny. That's around where blockchain backer wants to get out because he's using the fractal of the past. So in my mind, even if we do recover, friends, we're going to feel some sort of relief just like we did in the past. But this 108 to 109 is the ultimate area. But this might actually but look at the timing for this thing as well, friends. The timing of this, like if we go up, what if it takes a while? What if we are in like 109, like Feb next year? Oh my gosh, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be wild. What a punt everyone's going to have to take. Does that mean is 2026 bear market? We're buying down there. Is that what's going to happen? It's going to roll down and then you buy and then, or is it just going to, oh man. I wish I had answers. No one knows, friends. No one knows. Look, I'll tell you this now, but I don't want to jinx it. If there is some sort of relief and in the next 3 months, altcoins are up 5x from here, take some profit just in case there is a bear market. But, I almost couldn't even finish the sentence. They're like, bro, what profit? I know everything's destroyed. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, in the negative 58% chance that something actually goes good for us for once in the past 5 years, if when Bitcoin is here, friends, you never know, man. I know there's wild, I've seen wild stuff happen in markets all the time. Let's say Ethereum is like $5,500 or $6,000 here. Let's say Ethereum's actually there and altcoins are up 4 or 5x. Like, you decide what you want, but just in case, I don't know, peel something off, man. I don't know, like 10%, peel something off just in case there's the Takia scam. You can actually do something just in case, okay? But, you know, like I said, it's funny to even think, ha ha ha, you even think it'll go up at all? Maybe that raises the odds we will. I'm going to be with you every step of the way, friends. Don't forget he loves you. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.